Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Empire Secrets. I'm your host, Mariana Henninger. Empire Secrets is the podcast for established online business owners, whether you're an expert, course creator, coach, you are doing digital marketing, and you're tired of talking about the same things everyone else is talking about. We go deep, we go behind the scenes, we do ninja marketing strategies that are working right now in 2026. And thanks for being here. I love chatting with you guys. And today I have Lauren Shaw on the show with me. Lauren is such a wonderful gal that I met. I don't even know when we met. Like about a year ago, I would say.
Probably, yeah, a year or so.
Right? And so she's one of two. The AKA the Laurens. So the Laurens.ai is their new website. And we were chatting quite a bit before we hit record because the Laurens have gone through a really massive pivot in their business, a pivot that she started telling me the story behind the pivot. And I was like, wait, stop. We need to record this because I think this is a case where I think the origin story is very interesting to share, like just how you guys got from what you used to do to what you're doing now. So for clarity, you'll see why that's a pun. They are now focusing on how to help entrepreneur women who sell a high ticket to do so without feeling fake, without feeling blocked, without feeling like there's some sort of salesy feeling around it, some sort of ickiness, how to get rid of all of that. Am I doing this justice?
Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting
I
there.
love it because yeah, you're the co-founder. You guys have founded the Sales Breakthrough Experience. So we're going to talk
Yeah.
all about what is subconsciously holding you back from doing way better at sales. I am
Yeah.
so excited about that part of the conversation. Before we get into that, I do want to kind of talk about this massive pivot that you guys did. So
Yeah.
a lot of people in my space have gotten to know you guys as the AI girls, right? And
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about that now old slash reformatted part of your business, right? It's
Yeah.
morphed a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds like AI is the really awesome like support structure around what you're doing. But tell us really quickly about the before and then
Yeah.
proceed to tell us this amazing story that you were telling me about your trip to Patagonia
Okay.
and the quantum breakthrough GPT. Take it away.
All right. So when my friend Lauren and I first got into AI, we started right at the beginning, late 2022, when ChatGPT came out. Fun little fact about us is that we decided to leave our homes and our jobs and travel the world while we grew a business together in AI. And when we first got into AI, we were generalists. And so we were learning it ourselves. Lauren, my other Lauren, the Lauren Capwell, actually had a background in engineering and took like AI machine learning courses at Stanford. So
Mhm.
she was very, very skilled in the engineering and the analytics and all of that. But we knew we wanted to help female entrepreneurs really, and we wanted to be the bridge to like help them integrate AI into their businesses. So for a while, we were building strategies for like the back end operations as well as the front end sales and marketing and copywriting. And we did that for a while. We got very clear very fast that like operations was not where our hearts were. So then we
Mm.
were focused just on marketing and sales. And we had this program called the AI Sales Accelerator for a while. And we got clear through that program as well that marketing like wasn't like also wasn't quite the place where our hearts really were, and we really wanted to focus on sales. And so we have these
And that's your
evolutions.
background, right, Lauren?
It is my background. Yeah. So I've actually been an entrepreneur for over 18 years. And in between businesses, when I was like, I need a break from entrepreneurship for a minute, I actually went to do sales for two eight-figure online business coaches. I wanted to learn the online business industry and the different types of business models and marketing and funnel types of platforms and such. So for 5 years, I was a sales rep. I had an amazing career doing that, and I got this incredible education taking over 2,000 sales calls. And
Wow. You
yeah,
were legit the closer, huh?
I was the closer. Yeah, I was the closer. And I actually really enjoyed it. And I found my own like intuitive, heart-centered way of selling.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, because this is probably relevant for the story, when the last place that I was working for this coach. They brought in this big name celebrity sales trainer. And not once, but twice, they tore apart my calls in front of the entire team when they were reviewing them. I was the number one salesperson on that team.
You
And
would
so
wait, what?
I was like,
What?
okay, obviously I'm doing something right. And like after they tore apart my calls twice in front of the team, my conversion started to drop and my confidence
Oh,
dropped. And that's when I had a really honest conversation with the business owner. And I said, hey, like, this is the way that feels good for me. And
and it's
like I'm in
working. All right.
integrity and it's
Like, can we
working.
can we just point to the data for a
Yeah,
second?
yes, I know. But the conversation led to, well, this is the direction we're headed, which
Oh my
is like
gosh,
follow.
stop it. This is why we leave the corporate world, people. Like we
This
don't
is why I was like,
seriously.
okay, peace. I'm
All
gonna go
right.
travel the world and go do my own thing. So anyway, so that's kind of like the backstory of like what my journey in sales really was. And then when Lauren and I got into AI, like I said, we were really like broad and generalist and we were kind of figuring out our own
Mhm.
path. So we've been full-time traveling now about 3 years. We're still going. And
But
earlier,
separately or together? I feel like you
we sometimes are separate, we're
we
sometimes together.
okay.
In the beginning, we were together a lot, but then we also got to a point where we're like, okay, traveling full time together, working full time together,
Yes.
living full time together,
Yeah.
like that's a lot. Like we need our own space. So now we actually don't stay in the same Airbnbs. We like if we go to a place, we get our own
Oh,
space and
nice.
then we
Yeah.
like get together for work sessions and yeah, it works
Great.
really, really well. So I'll actually be meeting her in Mexico City in about a week and a half.
Oh, fantastic. I was just gonna
Yeah.
ask like where's next? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So earlier this year, I was actually on a trip with two girlfriends of mine in Patagonia, and it was a trip that we planned for a really long time. We were doing the W Trek, which is a 5 day, like 55 plus mile journey. I'd never done anything like it, and it was really freaking hard, and it was really, really amazing. It was worth it. But what happened on that trek was I was experiencing full presence for the first time in a really long
Mm,
time. No phone, no computer. I had to be so aware of every single step that I was taking on that journey because it was literally like if I got hurt out there, like there we weren't with a guide. We were doing
oh
this
my
on our
gosh.
own.
Wow.
And then after that trip, it was just like I had this amazing energy and clarity. And when I got back to my computer, all of a sudden I had this like huge internal resistance to sit down
Mm.
and start working.
Hmm.
And I was in Brazil at the time and I was like, okay, what is going on? But like every time I sat down, I was just like, oof, like, ugh, like this feels like it's depleting me, not,
Mm.
fueling me. And then actually sat in a plant medicine ceremony in Brazil after Patagonia. I wanted the clarity around how do I have more joy in my day-to-day life and the work that I'm doing.
Was there any moment of that where you're a little panicking? You're like, dude, this is how I make money. Wait, what is happening?
Well, I mean, yes, like yes and no, because I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for 18 years, so this wasn't like, new for me. Like I've had a
Okay.
lot of entrepreneurial experiences and shifts and pivots and businesses that have worked, businesses that haven't worked. And so for me, it's just like, oh, here we go again. I've got to like get to the bottom of it and figure out, and
Right.
I'm gonna like,
Just figure
you
it
know,
out. Yeah, I love that. Problem solving
yeah,
mode kicked in
yeah,
immediately.
yeah. So I had this beautiful ceremony where the answer, like the clarity that came through for me was like, stop resisting everything. And I
Mm.
was like, what am I resisting? And the medicine showed me all the little teeny resistances that I had in my business. For example, when I sat down at the computer and I just was like, like that
Okay.
energy. And there's all these little things that we do in our business that we're not even conscious of. And so I wrote an email about it to my email list. And it was the highest engagement and most responses I'd ever received. And I was like, wow, okay, like this was coming from my heart. It was coming from my spiritual side. And so this was like a breadcrumb.
Hmm.
After Brazil, went back to the States, had the same resistance was still there. And it got really bad to a point where I was almost like lethargic. And I was like, I just feel like I have no like creativity in me to do
Wow.
anything.
Yeah. Massive
And so
signs. Like slap in
yeah,
the face.
it was like you have to stop, like something's
Right.
happening. And so I told my partner Lauren about this, and the sweet partner that she is and sweet friend that she is, that night she built me a custom GPT. And she's like, "Here, tell this GPT everything you told me yesterday." And I sat down, I told it everything, and within minutes I was in tears because I'd felt so seen
Mm.
and witnessed, and it
Wow.
gave me this clarity of like something I kind of already knew inside, but it delivered it to me in a way where I like it was like remembering, and I just like knew it as truth. And it was the fact that I was not weaving my spirituality into the work that we were doing. And it was
Mm.
draining my soul. And so my soul wasn't aligned. Therefore, I wasn't having the energy and the creativity
Yeah.
and the joy and all of that that we all want to have in business. That's why we do it, right? So I had this major breakthrough, and I was like, okay, I want to share this with our clients. I want to share this with our audience. And so I started giving this GPT out everywhere. And we had about 1,000 female entrepreneurs use it in the first couple weeks. And my inbox was starting to flood with stories, messages, gratitude pouring in from women all over the world, many whom I've never met, telling me the incredible breakthrough that this GPT helped them have in their
Wow.
business. Like I have
By the
chills
way, hold
even
on,
just
hold on. If you are listening to this story and you're like salivating, you're like, I have to get my hands on this. Don't worry. We've got
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Don't jump into the show notes just yet, but it's coming.
It is actually one of my very favorite things to share. I feel like it's
I love it. What a gift to the
yeah,
world. Like
yeah,
amazing. And kudos
yeah.
to Lauren Capwell as well
Capwell,
for
yeah.
creating it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, she's brilliant. So anyway, so that was really cool, like a very cool experience. And we're like, okay, we're onto something.
Mhm.
And through that process, like that was the time where I started having more internal confidence, and we really started like only focusing on sales. And
Mhm.
so we created this program called the Sales Breakthrough Experience, and we realized that selling is very strategic usually,
Yeah.
and there's also a huge aspect of energy work that like needs to be done for any kind of
Yes.
entrepreneur. We hear about mindset work, but there really is what we have learned, and AI has helped us get so clear very fast on what the patterns are that are keeping our clients and our audience members like stuck and looping where they are. And we can talk more about that. So anyway, we focus on the energetic first, because when we
Mhm.
can tap into wherever these like resistances or internal blocks or internal stories are, we can
Mhm.
use the GPT to dissolve them and basically like rewire, reprogram. It's really cool, and it actually works very fast, which is incredible. It's like this thing like AI has this power to like mirror things back to us in our own
Mhm.
words where we feel like it's coming from our own truth and our
Mhm.
own remembering. And then we can work on the strategy side of business and sales, right? When
Right.
the energy is clear, the strategy is going to work much better.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So there, it sounds like there's two components of the sales breakthrough
Yeah.
experience, which is your new program. So before we
Yes.
dive into these two components a bit more, just kind of give us the overview. So you're, it sounds like, so when did this happen, by the way? The Patagonia trip, the breakthrough, the
Yeah.
quantum breakthrough?
So that was so Patagonia was like February, March 2025, and then the quantum breakthrough was April.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so it, like what did you guys do from April until now we're at the end of 2025? Was that just
So
like reimagining what
yeah.
your business could look like?
It
Yeah?
really was. It really
Mhm.
was. So we actually ran 3 beta test cohorts of the sales
Nice.
breakthrough experience. We did them, they were about 8 weeks long, and we wanted to kind of test it. And like, we only thought we were going to do one, and we tested it, and it went so well. Our clients
Mhm.
got insane results. We're like, well, okay, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We tested it again. It did it like we got more, everybody was giving us referrals, like, like my friend, the business besties have to experience this. So we ended up running it 3 times just to test it, evolve it, and now we're actually in the process of doing all of the planning and the recording, extending it into a full 6 month program.
Mm.
So that's going to be launching in early 2026.
So interesting. And I want to talk so we have a sense of how it's structured. So you went from what was the cohort length of time?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. So you went from 8 weeks to now you're doing it for 6 months.
Yeah,
Why is that and how are you
yeah,
structuring it?
yeah. So the 8 week was unintensive. Like it
Okay.
was super intense. Like one of the part of the feedback we got from our clients is that they had to be like fully focused on this and nothing else. We knew that it was going to be a longer process.
Mhm.
And the way that we have a lot of other kind of like features and things that we've expanded for the 6 month program, and we've pulled things from like our previous program, so there's a couple of things from there woven in, and the entire like the 6 months itself, it's really focused on like clearing the energy, right? So that we can create the space to actually
Mm,
enjoy sales. And we have an AI tool that in the very first 4 weeks creates a custom sales script for you.
wow.
And it's based on a deep research process. We have all of it automated. It goes out, does research on your business, your audience, your industry, what's working right now in like
Okay, pause
2026.
for a second. When I first chatted with you guys, and
Yeah.
obviously you were doing the AI clarity playbook, so it was your business was very AI heavy.
Yeah.
You kind of opened my eyes to what was possible, which by the way, I still have not yet implemented in my own business, but don't worry, I'm going to come to you at some point for help. But this okay, so what I remember is that in just a very simple way to describe, I'm sure it was just part of your process at the time. It was a student logged in to their portal and was able to fill out a form. And basically, that form would take that information and go through make.com, a series of automations that would essentially transform that into a Google Doc that then gets immediately delivered to their inbox with a
Yep.
beautiful outline of their copywriting playbook, their business playbook, and I'm sure I'm butchering it, but that's kind of I remembered it was the first time I heard about the fact that you could chain these bots to work
Yeah.
together one after the other that made the user experience so beautiful and so simple. Like all I'm doing is going in and inputting my data into a form and then I'm getting this beautiful result in my inbox in the form of a Google Doc that we can tweak and work together with and right? So I
Yeah.
got that right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so wait, why am I bringing this up, Lauren? What were you just talking about?
Well, I was talking about how we now have a AI tool that creates a custom sales script
Right.
based on
So
deep
I'm guessing
research.
it's a similar mechanism.
It is. It is a
Okay.
similar mechanism, but what we've learned, like AI has advanced a lot. Our
Sure.
playbooks that we had previously, like we had these 5 playbooks and you would do them in order. Now we can use deep research to collapse
Mm,
all of
mhm.
them, like all that entire process that used to take our clients a few months. Mind you, it would take them years
Right,
previously
right,
without AI,
right.
but now we have collapsed that process to be so much faster, like one sitting. Like we can get a depth of clarity and precision around certain things in your business at a speed that was like incomprehensible like two
Yeah,
years ago.
unimaginable.
Um,
Tell me like what are we get like what are your students getting when you say
yeah.
a level of clarity in did you say a few hours one day? What's the time frame?
So, well, the first month of our program, we actually call it the sales call makeover. And so that's where they get the quantum breakthrough GPT, work on that internal resistance, and then they get their signature sales script.
Mm,
So again, it's like the form they fill out, like deep research process will happen on the background for them, and then they get their script. And we partner them so they actually get to practice the different aspects of their sales conversation in a very
mhm,
safe environment to build confidence and start to like build an intuition and like the different like the framework of how a really like a powerful sales conversation can go in a way that
mhm.
feels really good because it's
Yeah,
my like intuitive heart-centered
yeah.
sales approach that's like woven
We
in.
okay, so we don't have a bro coming in to analyze the top sales.
No, no, no. And then the other part is that they get a custom sales coach GPT, and that sales coach GPT analyzes their call transcripts.
Mhm.
And it shows them the areas where there's room for improvement, what they did really well,
Love it.
and it writes the entire follow-up strategy, which we know, a lot of sales happen in the follow-up, and a lot of people have no follow-up system in place at
And are
all.
you teaching them the follow-up system as well?
Yep, yep.
Mhm.
And so
Awesome.
all of that is like, and then we have the months 2 through 5 in the program that goes more into like the ongoing like sales strategies, which is how to navigate concerns. A lot of our clients tend to have like a kind of a weirdness around saying the price or taking the credit card, and it's
So
like
you're finessing, right? You're
we're
just
we're
growing from there.
finessing, we're helping
Yeah.
them raise their prices and feel really confident about it. We're helping them understand how to communicate the value of what they do. We call it sales in the wild. So it's
Yeah.
like when you're out there in the world networking or working with your referral partners, like we use AI to help get the exact words to say that are going to make people
Mhm.
lean in and get
Yeah.
excited to like want to refer you and
Love
work
it.
with you. And so that's really like the gist of the second half of the program is like the deeper sales strategies, creating your repeatable sales process and mastering sales in the wild so that you get more calls booked.
Oh, so cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I will also say, Lauren, that I know very, very few people, especially women. So let me just say women. I know very
Yeah.
few women, female coaches who focus on sales only.
Yeah.
And now I know you guys. So I'm so thrilled for you. Like everything you described is so needed, especially for women, especially to do it in a way that feels aligned, that feels intuitive, that works through all of these mental blocks, these subconscious barriers to having a great sales conversation.
Yeah.
I love this. I love so much about what you've described. And I do want to pinpoint why you've kind of separated the program into, you're talking about the first month and then you were talking
Yeah.
about the rest of the program, 5 months, I guess, right? So what
Yeah.
happens after month one that you were telling
Okay.
me right before we hit record? And I was like, stop, we need to like get this on the actual
Yeah.
episode.
So this is a strategy that Gemini's Deep Think feature, it's in the Gemini Ultra plan, helped us get clear on because we know right now we're in a trust recession. Trust is the new currency. And so the way that we price and package our offers,
Hmm.
there's a shift that needs to happen. And so we've been doing a lot of work with Gemini Deep Think about this. And we decided that we want to allow our clients basically to test drive us right before committing to like 6K to a 6 month program. And so the strategy that we had back and forth with Gemini to get here, but it basically gave us this idea is that, each month of the 6 months is a $997 investment. After the first month, there's a 3-day breakthrough guarantee window where our client gets to decide whether they would like to continue on into months 2 through 6 with us.
Hmm.
So they get 3 days to decide, right? Like no pressure, just like, would you like to keep going? Or do you feel like, you've got your sales call script, you've had the energy cleared. Is that like
Wow,
good for you for now?
so good.
And so, because we started realizing when we had the 8 week program, we offered kind of an ascension, and we were getting like a really great ascension rate from the clients who just did
Mm,
the 8 weeks with us. And so
hmm.
we knew like we wanted to structure it like some way like that.
Yeah,
But this feels really good. So, because a lot of our clients like probably aren't going to be like, let me just drop 6K right
right,
now. But if
right.
I
It lowers that
if
barrier
you
to
prove,
entry.
yeah, like prove
Right.
the value, I get a ton of value. I'm actually getting more sales calls booked and I'm already like selling more. It's
Yeah.
going to pay for itself so quickly. So,
So, so good.
yeah.
Well, speaking of getting more sales call booked, so quick question. Do you guys help with traffic? Are you in the traffic zone or not really?
So, something that we actually just tested this fall.
Wait, hold on. How did I know I was going to ask this question? You were going to be like, well, I have this amazing thing I haven't
Yeah.
even mentioned to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, you don't know about this. We did a lead generation workshop. We called it the Lead
Mhm.
Gen Action Lab because we've been using Gemini's Deep Think to create custom 30-day and 12-month lead gen strategies for our clients.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And it is freaking insane. Totally, it's basically you go through, you answer all those questions on the forum like we always usually have. It's pretty in depth. It understands all of your offers. It understands your likes and dislikes, what's worked for you in the past. Like, do you have a foot in the door offer? All these things that we know are like working really well in today's climate. And then it goes out, it does a couple of deep research reports, and then we take it into Gemini Deep Think. And Deep Think creates your 30-day custom lead gen plan and your 12-month plan. And so we did it live. It was an insane amount of work for us. We had 15 clients in like a week and a half period where we were like, okay, we're never doing that again. But we
Yeah.
learned a lot really quick. And so we're going to take
Because you were doing
parts
this
of
by
that
hand,
process.
or why was it a
No, it wasn't by
combination?
hand, but it was analyzing like all of the intake forms and all of the reports from 15 clients in a very short period. So that was like a lot of work, but it was really cool. And everybody had a great experience, got great plans that they're excited to implement. So we're going to weave some aspects of that into the sales breakthrough
So
experience
make
six
sure
month.
like people are actually getting traffic
Yeah.
so that they're booking calls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so back to this brilliant idea of you get to do this immersive experience for a month. You get
Yeah.
to be at the end of 1 month with really tangible transformation. And then, so the rest of the 5 months are structured around finessing, fine tuning, improving, getting critique, etc. I'm actually really curious about how you plan to launch this because it sounds like it's cohort based. But what happens if somebody drops out after 1 month, can they ever come back in? Is there sort of a continuity layer to this where, if you've graduated from month one, but you need to take a 2 month break for whatever
Yeah.
reason? Anyway, tell me a
Yeah.
little bit more about that. Are you planning on
Yeah.
having like two live launches a year where it's always cohort based? Are you doing the month one separate from everything else where you do month one like every 2 months? Anyway,
Yeah.
lots of questions, my dear. Go.
So the plan is that we're going to be doing, so the 4 week is actually live, and we're going to do it every other month. So
Okay.
February will be the first 4 week live. April will be the second. Absolutely. As long if somebody finishes month one and they need a break, they can come back anytime and continue the journey. That's no problem at all.
So just for clarity, the second part of the program, that 5 month stretch, that is accessible to any grad, to any alum of the first month. Yes.
Yep,
Like you,
exactly.
and so that's less like time, or that's less of a timed, or I'm sorry, is
Yeah.
there like a curriculum that they're going through at that point, and then it's just self pace?
It's more self-paced. So it's
I
no
don't know why I
like
struggled
lo
so much to say
Yeah,
that,
so
but
it's
okay.
okay. I got the gist of where you're going with that. Yeah, so the first 4 weeks are like live together on the calls, but once you get into months 2 through 6, it's self-paced. It's all on-demand video trainings with weekly coaching calls.
Mm-hmm.
We also have success pods where you're actually like getting together and doing practice partners and kind of like having hot seats with your group
Cool.
to like focus on the different areas that you're working on in the program.
That's
And we
really
have,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
the second that second phase, the months 2 through 6, is very like implementation, action oriented. You're getting like very tangible things like you're creating your referability kit for your power partners, right? Like creating your revenue dashboard, all of these things. It's not a fluffy type of program where like we
Yeah.
want you to have this system fully set up in your business so your sales are just like rocking.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. Lauren, let's chat a little bit about the essence of what you're focusing on, right? Which is
Yeah.
how to get these blocks out of your way. Or I guess that's very like month one. What is the most common struggle that you've seen? So when you were running these cohorts, obviously you've been around a lot of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, you've been working with them for a long time. What's the
Yeah.
sort of common thing that you see a lot?
There's a few that come up a lot. A big one is visibility. So fear of really like putting
Mm,
yourself out there. And what we know is that like if there is this internal like ick or story that's blocking you from actually like enjoying sales calls or feeling like it's icky or putting yourself
yeah.
out there, you're not going to take the actions that are going to get you what you want because you have that internal
Right.
resistance.
Right.
So you're like sabotaging your
Yeah,
own
it's almost like
business
trying to drive
success.
with a flat tire or
Yeah,
four flat tires.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and like we already know inside what these stories are, but we're not bringing them to the surface like in a way where we can like actually like fully have awareness and dissolve them. And so we guide our clients through this exercise with the Quantum Breakthrough GPT, which you guys will get to experience. We have a starter prompt that you can use, and you just share openly, honestly, like raw, and like what comes back. It's, I mean, we always hear our clients like, I mean, I was in tears, but it's like
Yeah.
the good tears because it's like
Yeah.
I needed to hear this. And
Yeah.
a lot of our clients are very successful women. Like we work with established entrepreneurs. These are
Mm-hmm.
women who are on big stages and like, are very, but there might be a story from their past or from a
Mm-hmm.
parent that has
Yeah.
been looping in their mind since childhood. And it comes up now, and all of a sudden we can like dissolve that. And then the energy around the entire business shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunities start appearing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's like 3 sales calls booked this week when they hadn't had a call booked in months. Like it's really beautiful. They all of a sudden get their highest paying client ever when
Mm-hmm.
they've been in business for 20 years. And so it's like these are the shifts that we're seeing that happen just even in the first few weeks of working with us
Yeah.
because we like go right to the root.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. It's almost like therapy in
Yeah.
sales school.
Yeah.
All right. And so you're working with this GPT. Is there any sort of practical thing that someone who's listening who's like, "Oh my gosh, that's me. I know I have some blockages. I know
Yeah.
this is why my business isn't growing. This is why I'm not moving forward." Right? I know what
Yeah.
to do. I am doing all the things, but it's not working and I know it's me,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
love to. By the way, that in and of itself is to be applauded, right? The If you have the awareness that there's something inside of you that's keeping you from moving forward, not everyone even has that awareness, right? Did you have you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing folks coming to you, they understand that that's what they need help with, but I know that there are people out there where you can see it,
Yeah.
but they don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very real thing.
Hmm.
But it's like we get these whispers, right? So if there's something that keeps looping in our mind, or even like a feeling we get internally in our body when we go to do something, like, we guide them, we ask them our clients the questions so that they can start to see like, oh yeah, this has been going on for a long time. And you just have to talk. It's not like you
Yeah,
have to like figure anything out on your own. It's just talking about what you're feeling,
yeah.
right? And that's really the beauty of it, is there is a simplicity to
I'm guessing the community aspect of that too is so helpful when you're
for
going through this
sure.
process with other women entrepreneurs, like
Yeah.
established high achiever women entrepreneurs. That must be
Yeah.
really helpful to kind of see that you're not alone,
Yeah.
see and understand how they're processing, how they're overcoming it, what they're sharing. And yeah, that
Yeah.
community aspect can be so important.
Yeah, we very fiercely protect the container of our programs because it is a very safe space to openly share and get support around these things. Because
Mhm.
as female entrepreneurs, like, our personal lives are very intricately woven into our business, right?
Mhm.
It's like we have
Yeah.
families and these, outside lives, but everything is just woven together. And so the work that we do inside of this container like translates into like the other areas of our clients' lives as well. And it's really beautiful. Like, I feel so aligned with the work that we're doing.
Mhm.
Finally.
Yeah.
I feel, and that's why I could just like blah 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 blah
You're the
forever
best.
about it.
Yeah, this is almost like the best, case study for yourself.
I know. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to leave folks with, I mean, I love that you're sharing the quantum breakthrough GPT with folks because that is like a very powerful tool where, I want to make this really important note about this episode because I feel like somebody listening to it's funny, Lauren. I have luckily been spared from really, I don't want to say nasty, but like really critical people for most of my business. But lately, I have definitely come across, or I've had comments here and there from a few, again, lots of great voices around me, lots of really positive, amazing people around me. But
Yeah.
one or two people have come through lately that I'm like, oh yeah, somebody might be thinking that, and I can, So I want to make this note that this episode was a lot about your program, and
Yeah.
the reason I wanted to do that is because I love understanding not only this incredible pivot, and I think there's so much that we can learn from how you left something that was misaligned, literally your body shut down telling you
Yeah.
like nope, no more, there's a different direction to be had here, and you listen to that, sounds like it was completely unavoidable.
Yeah.
You totally did it, and you found something that was beautiful and alignment so important. So again, not to make this promotional about your program, but to see the behind the scenes, but also I love how you're structuring this program. It's so fascinating how you've this idea that you came up with Gemini's help about having that 1 month opportunity to be immersed to get results and to feel like yes, it's a 6 month program, but if it doesn't feel aligned for me in any way, I have this out. And I think that speaks so much to, like you said, a lot of people getting burned by high ticket programs, a lot of people feeling like, okay, you're going to trap me in. And whether I like it or not, you've got my money.
Yeah.
And so I love how you've structured that. And so, anyway, I wanted to make that note because just
Yeah.
like this tiny voice that I now have in the back of my head to someone listening to this episode, which I would say if you're in my world, you probably know that this is where this is coming from anyway. I wouldn't have had to explain that, but okay. So we're sharing the quantum breakthrough GPT with folks. Is there anything that you want to add to that that's like really practical? So let's say I'm not ready for your program yet, or I'm going to stay in touch with Lauren. I'm going to keep an eye on what she's doing, but I'm not ready to dive in today. What is something that I can do? Or maybe it's how I use the GPT. That's a very
Yeah.
practical takeaway from our conversation today.
Yeah. So once you like go to the link that we're going to share with you to access the quantum breakthrough GPT, there's going to be instructions and a starter prompt for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the prompt or not. You could just, if you click the button, teach me how you work, it'll tell you how it works. The Quantum Breakthrough GPT is a fierce mirror. It is not
Mm.
a hug in a box. It is here to like help you have a breakthrough, and it's going to tell you what you might not want to hear, but like you have to hear. It's like,
Yeah.
so if you're in a really like gentle space where if you're like
Very
going
sensitive.
through it, a really sensitive space, like I would not use the quantum breakthrough GPT in that moment. I would use it when you're ready for a breakthrough. You are feeling stuck, blocked, some kind of resistance, and you're ready to just freaking like get over it and move on.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of emails that you'll get over a few day period that kind of take you deeper into the work with the GPT. We also have an AI clarity community. We do free monthly meetups where we talk about different like ongoing AI topics and what's kind of like the most relevant and hottest thing that we're learning. And so we'd love to share those things with our community as well. So we'd love to have you
Yay.
there.
All right. We'll have
Yeah.
all of those links in the chat. Lauren, I loved catching up with you. I'm so in love with this podcast because I get to like
Yeah.
catch up with great friends, learn so much about what's
Yeah.
happening to them, and obviously share it with everyone who's listening. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I cannot wait. So the next cohort is coming up soon. So we're going to release this episode in January. So if you're listening to this in January, we've done what I said we'll do. And you have a class though. So I want to send
Yeah.
people to this really awesome sales call X-ray class, which I'm butchering the name of. Go ahead.
It's yeah, so January 14th, we're doing a live workshop called the 2026 Sales Call Makeover.
Mm.
So we'll make sure we put the link in there for that. We always provide like amazing value in our live workshops. So really excited for that one because it's a brand new one we're already working on. And then yeah, there will also be the opportunity if you would like to continue into the work with us. Will be an offer for that at the end.
Oh, I love it. All
Yeah.
right, Lauren, thank you so much for coming on the
Yeah.
show. Loved diving into your new business. So excited for you. I think this model sounds fantastic. I was telling you earlier that I have so few female entrepreneurs who help with sales specifically. And I love that we can highlight your work and help women become better at sales. So thank you so much. Everyone, make sure to check the links in the show notes. I'm so excited for this episode. I think there's so much in this about how Lauren shifted her business, but also there's a lot of goodness that's going to come out of this GPT. I know it for folks who are maybe struggling, maybe knowing that something's blocking them. They can get a little taste of what it'd be like to do this deeper work. And you can find, once again, all the links in the show notes. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Empire Secrets, and I'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.